Hello everybody, I'm Rental Mox, and welcome to one of the last Bionicle set reviews I'll really ever do. Today I'll be reviewing the big guy himself, Makuta, the Master of Shadows. Now, this is not actually a set given to us in 2017 or 2016, whenever. This is a combination model, or a combo model, provided for us with 7 sets. These 7 sets are Umarak the Hunter, Umarak the Destroyer, Tahu Uniter, Onua Uniter, Maskmaker vs. Skull Grinder, Ikira, Creature of Fire, and Lord of Skull Spiders, sorry. If I missed one, then I do apologize. Anyways, here's the model itself, but before we actually get into it, I just want to list a few things. This set, of course, like I just mentioned, is a combo model and doesn't have an official price because it is not sold in stores. Rather, you can make this on your own time with the parts you already have. But purchasing this guy, if you want to buy all the sets again, I could be wrong, but it's either $140 or $120. Either way, it's a big price for something like this. But let's dive right into the review. I think the easiest way to look at this guy is to start from the feet down. Start from the feet and then go up. So the feet in general, the leg construction was pretty simple. Nothing super unique or nothing super complicated of build here. I mean, they did use a lot of random pieces in the build, which is cool. They tried to make it look like Umarak they really tried to use Umarak the Destroyer's leg design in there. Of course, you still have enough friction to move the you can actually get the knee way back, so that's pretty good. The leg can also move like this, of course. Not so much forward, though, which is a shame, and that's just because of the armor piece used here. If that armor piece wasn't here, it would be fine. But here's where my first problem with the set comes in. The articulation for the upper legs is very bad. You can barely move it, and that's because of the sub-assemblies thrown onto the side of here. All these sub-assemblies, they all make this guy a little bit harder to move around with and control. So, that is a shame. I mean, I really wish his articulation was perfect, but then again, he is a combo model, and not all combo models are perfect. Next thing is kind of the design going on here. The skirt, or whatever this is supposed to be, I really do like it. I think it's one of the better things that we got out of him. It's a golden skirt that uses the piece of Unity right there. Also uses a couple black limb pieces here. One of them actually attaches the chain, but I'll get onto that a little bit later. And moving this to the showing you guys the back of this, so you can kind of get. So it uses the Creature of Fire head in there to kind of replicate a bit more of the skirt. A lot of this black decoration here is also kind of like a skirt, which I think is cool. What else here? I do want to mention one thing. The back is very. The back isn't very good. It has a lot of bad things, but it's not hard to add on, especially with the pieces given. You can probably just add on and get a better back look anyways. Okay, so turning around once again, kind of a process to do this with one hand. He does have a mask chain where he holds the elemental masks. I guess these are his trophies per se. So he's got the Lord Kulta's mask, Onua's mask, and Tahu's mask. Obviously, this isn't what happened in the story. It's kind of just a representation for how dangerous he would actually be to take down 3 of these really strong characters. Next up, we kind of get to the nitty-gritty. Let's move up a bit. With the... I don't know why my lighting is so poor. I'm trying to... Maybe that's a little better. It's alright. Wait, hold on. Okay, this seems to be the best angle, but I can't really. Alright, so now we have the chest, which I love the way the trans orange works. Actually, hold on, can I just... There we go. Okay, so I like the way the trans orange rib cage works out. It makes it look really cool, especially with the uses of the hands in there and just all the bone pieces. Makes it look very filled in and not hollow, so that's good. Also, you do get the shadow trap piece here, which kind of acts as a holder, or not holder. It's kind of odd how it's placed, but it's still alright. We also get the gold piece used on Ikimu here, which is okay, and then we get the black pieces surrounding that. That's something that a lot of people like to take note on, which rightfully so. It does look very cool. And let's try to wrap this up. The mask that they use in the set, since the Mask of Ultimate Power was never released, we do just have the Mask of Control here, so it is kind of small. Like, looking at this guy, it's really, really small on him, but that's not too much of an issue. Also, the individual shoulder plates act as their own thing, so they can move and articulate, which does work in case you want to pose the arm up, but they kind of look weird on their own. I don't know, they kind of look like giant bulges. Each arm is actually built individually, or not individually, it's pretty much the exact same construction, but it is individual. So, this one has the hook function. One problem that I have with this entire build is that the wrist has very, very poor articulation. It can't, especially this hand, it barely can move, and that's just because this golden piece of unity limits movement, and yeah, and then the blades limit movement. I'll get into the functions a little bit later, though, so I'll showcase that a little bit more. This arm build is a little bit more different. The arm is exactly the same, but as you can see, it's kind of put together differently with the gunmetal piece here and the gears. By the way, the gears, they do not do anything. They just act as decorations, which is kind of a tease because it looks like it would be doing something, but it doesn't. One last look at the details from the side. You can see the arms are built up using the heads, the G2 heads, so it's kind of strange. Also, get a better look at the back. They use the hook axe blade pieces just as extra detail, and there is a gearbox here, so I'll be showing that in the next segment. So let's move on to that part now. I do want to apologize, guys. We are having severe technical issues or difficulties, so there's no light for the rest of this review. I do apologize that, so you can see a bit more of my shadow in the background. Again, I'm really sorry about that. My light just like broke. The light bulb just stopped working. Okay, now we're going to talk about the functions. This guy has a few functions. Obviously, the most overused function from 2016, mask pop off. Unfortunately, I hear this doesn't have the same effect with the actual Mask of Ultimate Power on from Shapeways, which kind of sucks, but oh well. So there's that. Second main function would be on the left arm. So he has a double dagger sort of situation. It's very easy. You just flick. Oh, there's a little slow-mo of how it happened, but you can just like flick this piece or just push it, and there you go. Get a little instant replay of that. The best part is it's not all wobbly like this. It actually prefers to stay in this form, which works better for like a long-range weapon. So he can kind of be like, he's like, and then just like goes to cut someone. It's a pretty nice function. I do like the way it works. It's a little too eager. Like if you accidentally hit it, if you accidentally like tap it or something, it's gonna go forward. So yeah, I don't know. Second function, or third function, I guess, would be on the weapon. He has a large staff, which I guess is just a staff of shadows. I don't know why it has fire on it, though. That's kind of weird. But this function is pretty simple. You turn the drilled piece, and then the entire staff turns. I like this. This is a nice, smooth-looking function. It allows, it's simple, but it's nice. It's pretty cool. The build for that staff is also pretty freaking crazy as well. It's kind of like all over the place. Yeah, that's really about it. Oh, yeah, one more thing. He does have a gearbox, actually, surprisingly. How does it work? Well, let me just raise up his staff, because that's what appears to be having issues at the moment. It works. Not super well, though. The arms can't really move that much. I mean, yeah, it works, but it's not like he's going to whack someone in the face with it, unless it's his bottom of his staff, but still. And this is like, it's because there's so much friction in there, it's almost impossible to move this thing. It's pretty much like he's slow walking or something like that. So yeah, I think it was a bad touch, but I'm glad they tried to add that in. Even if it doesn't work, it's still, they still tried, which is something that I always appreciate. So, good on you, Lego. One thumbs up for you. So here's a little bit of a size comparison for how big Makuta actually is. Here I have him compared with my Makuta mock, which does not have the Mask of Control on right now because he's using it. Once I get a new Umarak the Hunter in the mail, I will be using the mask that comes in that set for my Makuta mock. But yeah, you can just see how massive this guy actually is, and he's insanely bulky. I'll bring in a third figure, just to break the mold a little bit more, and to finally show how this would look, because a lot of people probably want to see this. Here's Akimu 2016. So, yeah, Akimu's tall, but Makuta's way taller, and that's obvious. Makuta is also way taller than Umarak the Destroyer. I was not going to go get him. I forgot to bring him. Sorry about that, guys. I don't have him near me at the moment, so I had these two near me, so I just figured I'd talk about these two. So Makuta is really massive, but I guess I should probably just get on to my final thoughts about this guy, because he's so cool. So I do want to apologize for not making the Makuta build live stream. It was pretty late when I decided, because my friend Tohokoto was building Makuta. I just got really excited and wanted to go ahead and build him anyways. So I went ahead, built him. What do I think? Well, I'm really happy with this guy. He's an amazing figure. Was he worth the wait? Maybe. But the biggest question I have to ask is, or probably you guys are asking, was he worth all that money? Was he worth buying all the sets all over again? Well, kind of, yes and no. No, if you don't plan to keep him together. If you're just building him once, then no. You should not buy 7 sets if you're just going to put them together once, look at him, play with him for a bit, and then just take him apart. No, don't do that. That's a very, very bad idea. But if you're going to keep him together for a while, like I am, like a very long time, I'm going to keep this guy on my shelf for as long as humanly possible. Yeah, I kind of recommend it. Now, if there's any other way, because if you want to know, I didn't get Umarak the Hunter in the mail yet, because I ordered him online, but I didn't get him. I actually used my Umarak the Hunter set that I had. So I used the one that I had, and I just figured when I get the new one in the mail, I'll just use that for my actual Umarak the Hunter. So, yeah, that kind of explains everything here. What do I think of him? Well, he's awesome. He's really big. He's bigger than I expected. I knew he was going to be gigantic. I just didn't. As I was building him, I was like, oh my god, I'm actually putting him together. It seemed really weird. There's a lot of tedious steps to this guy. He has so much repetition as well. There's a lot of things you have to do over and over again. For example, you have to... No, I don't have too much to say. He is really cool. Few problems. His legs are pretty bad. His head's a little small. The gearbox doesn't work as well as I want it to. The wrists are bad. They don't move that well. And his articulation overall is pretty poor. There's not too many poses that you can get him in that isn't him just standing. So, yeah. I do like this guy, though. I think he's a great figure and a great way to kind of give us the last set of Bionicle, because this is really the last set we're ever going to get for Bionicle. And saying that is kind of sad, but it is true. This is pretty much the last thing we're going to get. And he's a good addition. He really is. Is he warranted of being Bionicle's last set? Maybe. I think he's quite well done. I think he has a lot to live up for. Then again, this is a kind of a half-official combo model. It's not really official because there are no instructions. It's not advertised anywhere. The only place it is advertised is Journey to One itself. But still, LEGO hasn't even uploaded instructions. I built this guy using LJ from the TTV podcast's instructions, so thank you so much, LJ, for supplying us that. It was quite a fun process. I had a lot of fun building this guy. It took a while, it was long, but it was definitely worth it. So, what do I think? He's great. I was about to say pick him up, but you can't because that's not how that works. But thank you guys so much for watching. There will be one last video regarding reviews in a while, at least until I get my hands on more sets to build more combo models, but then that's it. That really is it, because it's pretty much it. So, there will be one more there will be a Bionicle G2 overview, where I'll be looking at almost everything and talking about my overall thoughts on the entire I guess, series of G2. So thank you guys so much for watching. I am Renzo Mox, and goodbye.